The guards bring you down a corridor of cold stone and torchlight. Ahead, a pair of massive gray doors stand open just wide enough to see into the chamber beyond. The doors are thick, iron-banded, and carved with worn royal marks. Two of the king's guards stand at attention on either side of the doorway, faces hard and unreadable, hands resting on polearms. You are not announced. No one speaks your names. You are simply held there, out of the room, while the discussion continues. From where you stand, you can see a long war table lit by brazier fire and hanging lanterns. The table is covered in maps, carved markers, broken wax seals, and pinned parchment reports. A ring of generals and captains crowd around it. At the far end stands the king. He leans over the map as if he could force it to obey him. A captain is speaking when you arrive, voice tight with anger. "Captain Saravan? We're not losing ground to numbers. We're losing ground to what the warlord is sending at the line." A general answers her, older, exhausted, the kind of tired that comes from burying good soldiers. "Say it plain." "Creatures. Enhanced ones." A second captain steps in, his face half-shadowed, a fresh scrape on his jaw, eyes wide like he hasn't stopped seeing it. "Captain Jordan, I watched one take 3 arrows to the chest and keep moving. I watched another burn, and it still didn't slow. It didn't scream. It didn't fall. It just climbed over the dead to reach the wall." There's a hard silence. A few officers exchange looks they don't want anyone else to see. A thin, sharp-voiced advisor speaks, careful with every word. "Advisor Halden, that sounds like sorcery." "No, not like a spell you can feel. This was made, built wrong on purpose." The king straightens just enough to speak without raising his voice. The room obeys him anyway. "We've bled against that warlord for years. I know his banner. I know his agenda." He taps the map once, sharp. "What I want to know is who is changing the beasts." A woman in commander's armor answers. Calm, certain. "That, we don't know." The room tightens around the admission. But someone is. Someone with time, skill, and a place to work. The advisor slides a parchment across the table. "Advisor Halden, reports from the frontier confirm it. Your knights are being driven back. We're losing ground." He taps a section of the map. Small markers are pulled back, slow retreats made visible. Survivors describe altered weaknesses. The old rules aren't holding. "They're not just tough, they're wrong." "Explain." "Trolls." She points to a mark on the map with 2 fingers. "They used to fear fire. We used to burn them and watch them fall apart. Now we put torch to them, and they stand up straighter. Fire hits them and it heals them, makes them stronger." A low murmur moves through the officers. Someone swears under their breath. "Captain Jordan, werewolves too." He swallows, like he hates even saying it in a room with maps and banners. "We brought silver. We always bring silver. We put silver in them, and it does nothing. No burn, no slow, no weakness. They keep coming like the metal isn't there at all. Edvalden, silver should drop them. It doesn't. Not anymore. And vampires." The word is said like a curse, like a thing nobody wants in an official war report. Not the hidden kind, not the careful kind. These walked in open air under daylight haze. They didn't smoke. They didn't retreat, and radiant strikes that should have ruined them. She pauses, choosing the words. "Did nothing." "Captain Saravan, one of our battle priests called down holy light. The creature didn't flinch. It smiled." The king's gaze moves over every face in the room, measuring fear, weighing truth. King Khan. "What else?" Advisor Halden looks down at his notes like he hates what he's about to say. Advisor Halden. "Minotaurs in the warlord's vanguard, not just brutes, trained." One cohort reports horns etched with metal channels. "They lowered their heads and breathed lightning across a shield line. It wasn't a spell. It came from the beast. A storm in a bull's lungs. We faced a manicore that flew through volleys like it was wearing armor under its hide. Barbs that should have staggered it didn't slow it." Advisor Halden. "Gargoyles that should have shattered under hammers did not crack. They moved like they had blood in their stone. And every time we adapt, the next wave is different." The king looks down at the map again. He reaches out and drags a marker back a few inches. A retreat made official with a single motion. How much ground? 2 days of marching. Maybe 3 if they push hard. And will they? Yes. The king's voice stays low, but the words harden. Then we stop pretending this is a normal war. He studies the table a moment longer, then speaks like a man deciding what he can afford to lose. King Daqan, double the scouts, burn the roads behind the retreat if you must. I want no surprise crossings. I want no midnight raids on our supply lines. If the enemy can field more of these altered creatures, the frontier may not hold through the next month. Captain Jorik Dane, then we take the fight to wherever they're coming from. With what? We're bleeding veteran steel just to keep the line from folding. We need to know what they are, what stops them. If their weakness has been changed, we find the new one. The king's fingers tighten around a marker. For a moment, it looks like he might crush it. Find me certainty. I will spend gold, favors, pride, whatever it takes, but I will not spend this kingdom blind. A pause. The room is quiet except for the pop of the brazier and the soft scrape of parchment. Then, without raising his voice, the king adds, King Daqan, and someone tell me who is making the warlords monsters.